Good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and it all depends on where you are watching this my video from. And I want to say thank you for joining in. Thank you so much. My name is Coach Dubdis, and on this channel I talk about everything that has to do with personal development, living the good life, relocation, and so many wonderful things. And I'm so sorry I had to do this very, very early in the morning because I want to be on my way to school. And I felt, let me just quickly do this video. And I'm very, very hopeful. Video is going to help you to know how to actually get your CAS. Like in my last video, I talk about how to get your unconditional offer, the conditional letter that was given to you when you applied for school. The unconditional offer that actually leads to me doing this particular video, because I've got a lot of information, a lot of messages from people, asking me to make a video on how to get the CAS. So what is CAS? What do you understand by CAS? CAS simply means confirmation of acceptance of studies. And this CAS, it's an electronic document that is being sent to you from your school, from your university, when you want to study for your PhD, or you are studying, or you want to study masters. It is a particular document that is being required for you to get your visa at the UK VI office or immigration office. You need the CAS. Without the CAS, you don't get any approval for your study. It's a document that will be issued to you after you have been given your unconditional offer. And it contains lots of information about you from your school to the UKVI. It will tell them your name. It shows you it's a reference. There's going to be a reference number that we call it a sponsorship reference number. It's good to be on that particular document. It contains the course of study, the tenure, your living expenses, your school fees, and the amount you have actually paid, and the remaining balance that you're about to pay. Everything is detailed sponsorship letter from your university. So the CAS is the most important document that you need to apply for your visa. Without CAS, you cannot get any visa from the immigration office. So your CAS is very, very important. And the best way to get your CAS is that you will meet all the other requirements from your school. For you, after you have gotten your unconditional offer, and in that your unconditional offer, it has been stated there the initial deposit you are to pay before they can issue you CAS. And until you make that payment, and your school has confirmed that you have actually paid, you will not be able to get your CAS. So it's very, very important that you pay your money as at when due. The earlier the better, because if you don't pay your initial deposit immediately, they might shift your admission to a later day or a later term. And there are so many ways you can make payment to your school. You can use your debit card. And if you want to be economical about your school payment, you initiate it through the your bank. We call it Form A, and it's presently, because of the huge backlogs of processing Form A in different banks, it might take some time for you to get your Form A being processed. What do I mean by Form A? Form A is a process, that was initiated by the Central Bank of Nigeria, whereby you can, so I'm actually talking for people in Nigeria now, where you can make your payments through your banks, and it has a reduced cost. For example, if your school is asking you to pay £4,000 as your initial deposit, And if you think £4,000, it's on the high side for you, maybe just wiring it, do an electronic transfer into your school, you can go to your bank and ask them, I want to process Form A. I have a school that I want to go to, and I want to process my Form A. And if I want to, will have funded your account. By first document you will need is it's the first document you will need is the admission letter, your first degree certificate, your international passport, and the authorization letter. Those are the four major documents that you need to process your Form A. Actually, this is a digression, but I just want you to know that before you can get your CAS, you need to make a payment. And there's also one thing I want to tell you about CAS. It must not stay more than 6 months with you before you apply. After 6 months, your university has issued you CAS and you do not apply for your visa, it will become outdated. You will not be able to, it will become stale. So if your school has given you CAS, and because of looking for how to get your visa payment, your NHS payment, you are delaying in your CAS, it will expire. And when it expires, you need to go back to the school again for them to reissue for you. For a serious-minded person, you will not allow your CAS to stay with you for 6 months before you apply for your visa if you actually know what you are doing. So we issued CAS. Some school will only ask you after you have made your payment. They don't need you to do an interview. They don't need you to do an interview. Just make your payment. Let's send the receipt to them, and within 3 days you get your CAS. Within 3 days you get your CAS. But for some from schools like my school, they requested for three things before I can actually get my own CAS. The first document was my receipt that I've made my payment, and the second the second document I submitted was my statement of account, my proof of funds for 30 days. And the third thing is I had an interview with them. It is not all schools that do that, but because my school is a very compliant school, they requested for those three things. And for me to get my interview done, there's what we call PCI. The interview is actually called PCI. That's precast interview. That's the interview. They actually going to ask you so many things, and they're going to ask you, why do you want to come to the United Kingdom? Why do you want to study this? Why do you want to study this particular course? What are the living expenses? Do you have your proof of funds? It's an interview, and there is a format for it. And most schools now are actually applying the route of they are trying to modify their policy so that you'll be able to streamline they will streamline their admission process. So it's very, very okay for you if you can go through the PCI, that's the precast interview, and there's actually a format of the precast interview that is I can make available for you if you actually need one. But you have to confirm from your school if you need one. But even most schools now use and they actually ask you, they will call you they will call you. They will just call you. You don't, but you might have prepared yourself. Get yourself prepared with the PCI and formats. We have like up to like 20 questions or 21 questions they might ask you, and they are going to be picking those questions randomly. They are not going to ask you. So you might just be that. I can remember when I've already prepared my PCI. I've already mastered the interviews, the questions, the answers, and everything. What I just did, I was actually in the office that day, and I got a call from UK. I know this is I'm sure this is going to be my interview. And I went to the toilet, and I took my time, and I got I was went as we asking me the questions, I was giving it to them back to back, and I was able to make my interview. And 2 days after, a link was sent to me, and I was able to fill some particular form, and after the filling of that form, 2 days after again, I was able to get my CAS. And this was printed out, it was printed out for my own copy because I actually need the visa processing. It's everything is via and it's online now, so you don't actually need a copy to be printed out. Just save it somewhere so that when you are not gathering your document for your visa processing, you can just include that CAS with your documents. That is how CAS works. That is it. You don't have any problem with your CAS. This video is just about CAS. The next video, I'm going to talk about what other things you need to put together to get your visa, your study visa approved. And but you cannot go wrong with your CAS. You can't go wrong with your CAS. Let me just do a recap. Let me just try to do a recap. Your CAS is the most important document that you need. It's like a sponsorship letter from your university that they are ready to sponsor you in your school. And that is the particular document that you need even to process your visa, your study visa. It's very, very important. There are some schools that will ask you to, after you have made your payment, they will also ask you to come for an interview. And you need to prepare for that interview. And afterwards, some school also ask for your proof of funds. How do I get my proof of funds ready? In fact, the moment you were given your admission letter, that you have received your unconditional admission letter, you should start the process of your proof of funds. Your proof of funds must be processed within 28 days. So that means, for me, if I get my admission letter on the 1st of April, and for me as a particular person, because my school requested that I should get a proof of funds ready for them so that they can issue me my CAS. So immediately I get my unconditional offer. Immediately I made my payment. At the same time, I should I should have my proof of funds ready, and I should have my statement of account ready, so that immediately I'm making my payment, I am submitting my proof of funds document. That's my bank statement for 30 days. You have to build your account for 28 days. You don't need to build your account for 6 months. No, you only need to build your account for 28 days. And after that 28 days, print it out, or print it out for your bank to stamp and sign. Then you rescan. That's why it's very important for your bank to do it in a colored format. Print it out immediately. So you are submitting your receipt of your school payment, of your initial payment. You are submitting your proof of funds immediately. 2 documents. You are submitting it, and immediately you are submitting it, they will call you for a PCI. That's for your interview. And immediately after your interview is being done, 2 days after, a link will be sent to you, and immediately you fill the form. They will, they will send your CAS back to you. They ask you to check your CAS very well if the details are okay. So you check, is my name okay? My date of birth, my school, the school I'm applying for, everything must be detailed very well in the document. So they will send a draft of your CAS to you, and after they've sent a draft of your CAS to you, you just check it and you tell them it's okay. So immediately you say it's okay, maybe a few hours later, they will send you your documents, your CAS, and you to go to apply for your visa. So very, very informative. Help you're able to get 1 or 2 things about how to get your CAS. So get your CAS, and peradventure you still want me to walk you through how to do your proof of funds, or you still want me to how to do the PCI, that's the precast interview format. In case you still need my help to help you to walk you through all these documents, the proof of funds, your PCI, and what other things, just the casting generally. After you have watched this video and you still need 1 or 2 questions to ask me, just put it in the comment section below, or you click my WhatsApp link, and it will lead you to me, and you'll be able to ask your questions, and I'll be there to give you responses or give you feedback immediately till I come your way in few days from now. Please try to share this video with friends and families that are trying to study abroad, especially in the United Kingdom. Please help me to share the video, thumbs up, give wonderful comments, and also put on the notification bell. And peradventure you are a first timer, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and thank you so much. Bye.